5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
You know, I'm usually gushing over multiple different topics, sort of jumping here to there to here to there. Twitter related. Cardi B throwing a microphone at this person. Kylie Jenner, I've never had... On that as well, I've never had plastic surgery thing. I was saying, it's kind of arbitrary because most people would consider any kind of work because they don't really understand the ins and outs of plastic surgery. You're just going to be like, in your head, fillers. So when you say stuff like, I haven't had plastic surgery, and then someone like debates you on it and you say, well, I've had fillers and stuff, but that doesn't count. Everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. Well, you know what I mean, type thing, right? Botox and fillers and stuff and stuff. If that doesn't count, then like, okay, sure. But then, even on top of that, I learned that it was like, I haven't had any plastic surgery on my face. So it's like you've had plastic surgery and fillers, but no plastic surgery on your face. So it's just like making the headline and coming out, I've had no work done. I guess it's just people will talk about it and it starts a conversation. It's just like whatever, because it's just like a whatever thing. No one cares if you have anyway. It's just like, but why are you being weird about it? I just reminded me of something actually, and I've forgotten it, and that's really gonna piss me off. It was something I need to say, and I don't remember it. But it doesn't matter anyway, because today I just want to spend most time not doing that. Not jumping over from this Twitter thing to that Twitter thing. Pretending, like, oh wow, this is stuff that needs to be heard. I just kind of feel like gushing over The Bear. The TV show, The Bear. Because I finished season 2 today. Been watching like 2 episodes today. Been just fairly restrictive. I feel like it's pretty good behaviour. No crazy binging, and it came out like over a month ago, I think. So it's not like I've been rushed into it, and it's just crazy because I remember finding it on Disney Plus, and it wasn't like massively advertised at first. It feels like it was just kind of there on the page. I don't usually trust things that are on like the Disney Plus page. Like Disney Plus is a place that holds like old Disney films, obviously. And then new Marvel shows, which always end up being fucking bad. But they hold their Marvel shows, and when you try and think about any new show that Disney Plus is putting out, that my eye hurts. That not that the Marvel shows are good, but like the new shows they have on there that aren't from like Marvel or something, just like who's watching these? And the Bear one, I think it was like, when you're just like you're hovering over something on Disney Plus, and you're not really paying attention, and it starts to like play a little preview maybe. And I was like, I watched it, and I was like, oh, no, actually quite good, and this and that. And I watched the first season, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was pretty good. You could see a lot of, like, artistic attempts, like, the whole long shot thing, and you think, oh, okay, and the whole swearing over each other, oh, this is quite good. But, like, I remember thinking, oh, this is something that people could enjoy type thing, but not thinking if it was going to be big or anything. And it's so weird, like, have you ever watched something and you don't know if, like, you watch it, and you're like, because at this point there hasn't been a bunch of hype around and like critical acclaim, so you're like, in my head I'm thinking this could, like, sometimes you need to hear the opinions of everyone else to be like, okay, so it is a good show, because sometimes you're watching and you don't even know, like, I'm enjoying it, but is it a good show by like the wider standards type thing. Turns out it was, nominated and like all that good stuff, and I don't really remember too much that happened in season 1 though. It was such a long time ago. It wasn't. It was like a year ago. But I just remember shouting over each other, swearing, and the one take episode. I remember Kami sitting in like a circle, and he was talking some long monologue. And I don't really remember too much else. This season though, I feel like I'll be remembering it. This season was genuinely very good, and I've noticed like with TV shows I've been watching, I felt like when I was younger, I was like a first season kind of guy. I was the kind of person like first season would always be my favorite season of a show, or one of them. I don't know. I guess I just liked intros and introductions, and like, when they're making them or something, they're trying to hook you, and that you're seeing everything for the first time. But I don't know, man. Recently, the stuff I've been watching, season 2s have always been better than season 1, which is crazy because like there's a whole thing like the sequel's never good, and I know that doesn't really work the same with shows. It's more of a movie thing, which also, by the way, is just not even true. It's a false thing. It's like how in football they say the most dangerous scoreline is being up 2-0 because you're in a false sense of security. All it takes is to concede one goal and whole momentum swings or whatever. But it's like, statistically, it's not the most dangerous scoreline. It's probably more dangerous scoreline to only be 1-0 up, because it's, or 1-0 down, you know what I mean? But I guess being in a winning position, the most dangerous scoreline is one. Like, it's just a thing people say though, because it sounds clever. And it does make sense in theory. It's just the whole sequels are a bad thing. It's just not, like, there's a bunch of bad sequels, but there's a bunch of bloody great sequels as well, but people ignore those because it doesn't fit in with the narrative. But season 2 of seasons, I reckon if you look at some of your favourite seasons or shows, I reckon season 2s are probably really up there. I mean, I tried to think of an example right now, and it was Stranger Things, and season 2 is by far Stranger Things' worst season. So the example isn't working. I don't watch enough TV shows to be able to think of an example. But for the Bear, I think so. Just so good. I mean, well, I was gonna say I like all the characters. I do like them all, but some are better than others. Everyone's equal, but some are more equal than others. Obviously, Carmi's great. Fucking Sydney's great. Fucking Cousin's great. Are the main people. I actually really like Fact. Is his name Fact? No, Fact. Yeah, Fact. I swear to God, I thought they was calling him Fat for like 7 episodes. Like, it took me so long to be like, oh, this is his last name. This isn't just a rude nickname. Fact. I actually quite like him. Even though I credit to the actor. Well, that's the kind of person I'd be like annoyed by, maybe in like something else, but I don't know. I really endeared by him, really like him. Anyone else? A shout out. Then everyone else is just sort of okay for me. Like Tina and everyone else sits in the middle of the road for me if I haven't mentioned them. The black guy who didn't want to go to culinary school was like a bit pointless and annoying at points. Didn't really care about him, I guess. The little pastry boy, I'm so up and down on him. The pastry boy guy. When he went out to Copenhagen, I liked him enough. Like seeing him in that environment. Will Poulter, he's in the show. He's living on like a little boat and stuff, and he's like making pastries, and he's learning shit, and I liked him there. Whenever he's back in the kitchen though, I just find him irritating. He's just always like piping up in things that just don't best involve him. He doesn't need to be piping up. Like, he's like begging it to Sydney, and it's just cringe. And he's like, you ignoring me and stuff when they're trying to like serve in the finale, and it's like, shut up. And then he goes outside and he catches the guy smoking, and immediately he wants to rat him out like a little dirty rat. And it's like, you shouldn't be doing it, but at least give the guy the benefit. Like, it's just like out of order. And like the way in which he rats him out, like he does it in a way that's so slimy. Like he goes up to Sydney, it's like to impress her, or to like. It's like he's clearly got a crush on what is effectively his boss, and like catching like a little druggie in the back is like good. Is like ticks in his book, good points for him from his boss. So he does it for this slimy little reason. It's just like gross, man. So he's up and down, and then obviously I feel like everyone kind of has a similar opinion. That I can't even remember her name, Claire. Such a bland forget her name as well, but Claire is just, she's so mid, man. She's so mid. Like every time they're talking about Claire, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, we don't know who she is, but they act like we do. Was she in season 1? I don't think so. She just and like they pretend that they're trying to like tell us that these guys like perfect for each other and love each other so much, and they're just like so the one. But the chemistry's so dead. Like, it's just crap. When they're talking to each other, it's just like really like quiet, soft speaking back and forth, talking about nothing. You just get lost in what they're saying because you just zone out, because they're talking in like weird little metaphors and fucking riddles to each other, and it's just like so like whenever she calls, I'm like, and then low-key I'm all here for the fucking Sydney Carmen hype train. I'm hoping that happens. I'm not sure if it will, but I feel like I'm really bad at murder mystery type stuff. I never catch on to clues or anything like that, who the killer is, anything like that. But there's one thing I always catch on to very early, and it's the signs. It's the little looks, the little little eyebrow, you know, sort of furrow. It's the little sort of flicker in the eye, the little like extra look back, you know, the little fingers here and there. The amount of times I've been watching like a long season or something, and I say like in season one, I see something and I get argued on it, and then lo and behold, bring on season 5, 6, the move happens and it finally, you know, comes to fruition, and you know I am, you know, I'm feeling good. I can't think of the word right now, I'm too tired, but I'm vindicated, you know, and I'm hoping this is gonna be another example of that, because I've been saying it and people have been telling me, nah, it's just a friend thing, it's just a family thing. It's like I do sometimes see the clues they drop to lead to that as well. But I don't know, man. Just some of the things that he said, like the way she was approached by little pastry boy, and she just seemed to have like zero interest, because he's clearly like definitely interested in her. But she was like, you know, I just don't see anything there. You know, definitely from his side, but I just feel like she, you know, like little things, like when they're lying under the table and they're fixing the table, like there's nothing explicit in there that like is like, oh, it's lead to a love thing, but it's just like it lingers too much. And it's like the way it ends when it's like, okay, let's get back. Like it was just like, like even the way they're framed, he like one's lying on the ground, one's like overlooking the other one. There was a couple other moments as well that I don't quite remember, but just little looks and that. And I know she was jealous because she was being bogged down with all the work and he wasn't focusing, but also I felt like there was also a level of just like jealous in general. You know, you could easily see a line where it's like, I wasn't just jealous because you wasn't giving all your attention to the restaurant, but also because you wasn't giving all your attention to me, you know, type thing. Look, maybe they don't want to do that because they want to have a show where it's like, we can have a main female character and a main male character who don't have to be in love all the time, because we don't have to do that stereotypical thing. Maybe they want to be like above it and not do that. But fucking do it, guys, because it needs to be done, and the vibes have been, you know, the vibes are there, you know, and I've spotted them. So now, if like Claire comes back, if they do a season 3 and Claire walks back into shot, it's just gonna be, you know, it was for the best. Oh my god, the scene, honestly, the whole episode where he's cleaning the Falk's cousin, singing Taylor Swift, fucking guy out in Copenhagen, that was great. The whole flashback ep was great, like 101 different people in it. That was great. And then the finale was great. And then the arguing, I love that shot all the time. I know that it's like such a common one they do, but like when they got it split down the middle and it's like the different, and they're going back and forth, and you know, some things were it's just, if you ain't watched The Bear, get on it, because I don't watch a lot of TV, not because I'm like a film snob and I'm like, oh, I possibly couldn't, but I just don't know why. Just not a lot of it appeals to me, I guess. Like, so when I do get into something, I'm like in it because I'm like, oh, this doesn't happen enough. And I love being into TV because it's great. You get so much more to watch. You can binge it. You know, maybe I'll give Succession a go or something like that. But I don't know. That, for example, that'd be like 4 seasons of, I don't know how many episodes each season, like an hour long probably. It's just like, oh my god. Films is like, I love them more and they're great and that, but it's like, you know, it's 2 hours. You know, 3. Sometimes if we're dropping nukes and it's like, then it's done. Find something else. I don't really like to rewatch things either, so one and done. Anyway, that's The Bear. Watch it. Sick, man. Especially season 2. Season 2 is even better than season 1. Which leads me to believe and hope. I reckon at best, obviously, if they did a season 3, it would be better than the prior 2. I think at worst, though, it's worse than season 2, but I don't think it's worse than season 1. Not that I think season 1's bad, but I just think when you're on a roll, when you've got the people on board and you've got just the whole thing going, you're in Magic Land, I just don't think they could make it worse than season 1. I could see it being worse than season 2, but, you know, season 2 was très magnifique. Yeah, très magnifique. That's all. I'm tired. My voice kind of hurts. Been kind of quiet, lower key, but I had to get it done, man. I had to get it done. Couldn't miss a day. So this was 200 and something, 200 and something else.
With the kids, and I've got 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,